All right, guys, it's Mike and Dave from D-Boss Firearms, and we're back at the gun range today. And today we have a little bit of an issue, and it's been raised by some of our customers that have bought from us in the store and also from you guys on YouTube. Now, Mike, what do we have here today?
What we have here today is going to be the Fear 125. So this is a new model that they came out with. We saw it on there, we picked it up because we were kind of impressed with the setup of the Fear 116 when we first came across it. And so we just been kind of picking up the Garaysars as they've been coming up. You had a...
I was gonna say, and what has been the #1 complaint that we've been getting across all models that has come through the shop?
So the one thing that we've gotten was the feeding issue. Or sorry, the cycling issue. A little bit of feeding, but that's just due to the magazine not being seated properly, because sometimes you have to really pound it in to get it in there. But besides the feeding issue, it is the cycling issue, where it seems like you need to have a heavier load. Now, we heard rumors that you need to cycle heavy loads through it to break it in, and then it should be good. But we're going to put that to a test today to try to make sure that is true. First off, we need to verify that, and secondly, we need to try that out along with some other things that we've gotten complaints on with it. So we're going to definitely take a peek at it and go through. Now the difference is that there is no gas block on this Fear 125.
Okay. So
it's set up like a piston-driven, semi-auto, tube fed. There we go. The tube fed is going to be kind of like the same system. So it's kind of got that piston-driven right in here. Where the other ones that we've gotten in the Fear 125, the Panzer Arms AR-12, those ones have a gas block here, along even with the bullpups. Bullpups we even got also too, where the bullpups had the same gas block and everything, having some issues with the feeding. We only had one with one complaint about the cycling, but we feel that was because the customer changed from the light load to the heavy load and was using light load rounds. But so far the bullpups seem to be the only ones that come with a two different blocks.
Yep. And so because these semi-auto shotguns from Turkey, they're certainly new to us, even though we are a new gun shop. But it seems like there's very little information that's coming out from the companies themselves. And so this is kind of a trial and error on our end, or the customer's end. So that's why we're throwing this video together today. Is there any other information from these companies about these issues that you've seen at all?
No, there isn't. With everything going on, with how busy it's been, with the coronavirus coming up, and then with the riots starting, like it's been super busy. And I'm pretty sure that the companies that are producing these are also under a lot of stress and strain trying to produce these. So it could possibly be that they use different materials for it, trying to get some produced to be able to go out there. But I mean, we don't know, so we can't assume that too much on this stuff. So
sure. So I would say the next best thing for us to do right now is to cycle some rounds through it. And we're going to cycle, we got a few different ones on the table here, so yep. Mike, if you want to run down on those. So
what I have the magazines loaded with right now is going to be the S&B double-aught buck rounds here. And then we're going to try to work down in loads, so we are going to go through, oh hey, there's tape on that one.
Came prepared.
I know, first time. We're gonna go to the 1400 feet per second. These are gonna be the Federal Upland steels. So these ones are gonna be kind of a little bit lower brass. So our goal is to, by the time that we get these two boxes down and we get to the Winchester target box, because these ones are only 1145 is their velocity. So hopefully by the time that we get down to these, that as long as the rumor is correct, by the time we get down to the Winchester 1145s, this should cycle just fine.
Okay, that's a good theory, and I think we should put it to the test.
Yes, I think so too. I mean, but otherwise, you know, beyond that, this shotgun is actually pretty impressive with it. All of them are. When they come in, they're super easy to break down, to go through. You take off the shroud here. On almost all of them, it's the same. You're taking off the shroud, and then everything else just falls off as you take it off, and it's just amazing. They're easy to break down, easy to put back together. So all in all, it's impressive with their design that they have. It's just right now, I think that what the viewers are looking for and what we're asking ourselves is, what can we do to try to figure out how to fix some of these issues?
Right, exactly.
That they're saying. All
right, well, I think let's put some rounds through it and see what happens.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, let's go.
So we're down here, we're about ready to shoot this up. What we have going on here is I dumped out all the rounds that we're going to be using, and so that way it'll be a little bit easier for reloading. So I'll be in and out of the camera view here and there sporadically between each loading of the 10 rounds. And we are going to try to hopefully get to the point that we can flawlessly cycle through everything by the time we get through 75 rounds. That's going to be painful. We'll find out how painful it is. From before though, I was very impressed because this was not like shooting a break action. After about 25 rounds on a break action, 12 gauge, my shoulder was killing me. These ones don't have that bad of recoil, so we're going to see. I haven't shot this particular one yet, but we did shoot the Fuhrer 116 and we did shoot the Panzer Arms AR-12. But we're going to go through, and hopefully by the end of this we'll be able to get a good video of it working, cycling through, because in that way you guys can then see that maybe that's what you need to do. Spend a little bit more on ammo at first when you first get them, break them in, and then go down to the cheaper ones. So here it's not about hitting the target right now, it's about actually trying to get the lows to cycle. So we're going to work through that. Yeah, we will be breaking down every single model that comes through, because we want to show you guys that there's somebody out there who cares about letting everyone know that how you break these down, how it goes through. Because there's one thing that I found out is that there's a little knob that's in here that you need pliers to. The first time you do it, when we first get it in the store, we have to use that to crack it, because you can't get it off with your fingers. So you have to use that to crack it. After that, perfectly fine. So there's just small tips and tricks like that we're looking at trying to do, just to be able to give you guys the opportunity to be able to enjoy your AR-12 format. So we're going to get started here, and we'll have a little bit more talking probably afterwards, but we're going to get started shooting. Seem to cycle pretty good. Alright, so we went through the first two magazines, and right away the very first issue on both that magazines was getting the initial cartridge into the chamber. So this is what we're using again. Now the cycling on this seemed to work fantastic. No issues whatsoever on cycling. So I was very, very impressed with it. So it's getting it down to the initial push into, when you first load up the mag into the chamber. It may need a little work. It could be the magazines. The magazines that we got with this one are a little bit different from the ones that we got before, so that may be the issue. So again, we're going to continue to try it and see what goes on. We may need to shave a little bit off some of the magazines, shave a little bit off the back, and then try it out at a later date. Okay. So, right there, we just got, I tried a little theory that I had. So I put one in the chamber, and I had 5 rounds in here, so I shot 6 rounds. So one was already in the chamber, and it cycled just fine. Cycled perfectly. There was nothing wrong with the next round coming off the top of this. So maybe it just needs that momentum of it going to fully get it right now. But we're gonna load up the next mag quick. We're gonna get back to her. All right, so we have 5 rounds of the buckshot left. Double aught buck, we have 5 rounds of these left. What we are gonna be doing is changing to the Upland Steel, the Federal here. So this is gonna be the waterfall shot, number 6, I believe, on there. So we're gonna be downgrading to this, and we're gonna see how well this cycles through. Because now we got 20 rounds through, we're saving 5 of them just in case. You know, we might cycle 5 more of them through, but we're gonna put these in and we're gonna see how well these ones do. So let's try these out. Smell gunpowder in the morning. All right, so we got to the first magazine. Had a little issues again with the first initial into the chamber. Again, I'm gonna try to maybe kind of sand that down, take some of that material out, and then see how well it can cycle through when it's first initially in there. This only happens when it's first initially put in there. And this one, I think this one is a fluke because there was an issue with it initially when I put it in, and then this kind of happened on there, got a little jam up, and then went through. So we'll see. All right, so we're gonna do one more magazine of the Federal Upland. It's number 6 shot, and then we're gonna move on to the 1145 Winchester target loads. So this is going to be low brass on these ones. So again, this is 1145 velocity. We're going to see how well these cycle. So again, we're going to do the first magazine is going to be this, and then the second one is going to be the Winchesters. So let's go through. Oh, well, that's not good. The charging handle.
What? What's wrong?
The charging handle just broke off. That's what flew off. The charging handle just broke off. You can still shoot. Yeah. That one loaded good. with this charging handle, I can't do anything without the charging handle.
Okay.
There's nothing that I can do.
Fine. All right, guys. Mike just got done firing the Fear 125. Mike, how did it go?
It was going really good. As we went down in loads, they were cycling really well. They were going through. This one's went really quickly, and then the upland steel shot, the federal ones, the number 6, which is 1400 feet per second, went smoothly. And then as we went to the Winchesters, it actually started to get a lot better, and then an oh no happened. So the charging handle, now with this, I want to start off with saying that we don't know if there was an underlying cause. Maybe it was formed wrong. We do not know this, so we can't say that this is bad, that everything on this is bad. We can't say that because we don't know, because it was coded. So you know, just want to make that clear also, that you know, this happens. It's a fluke. It could be a fluke. It could be that, hey, you could probably get any rifle or shotgun that has a charging handle like this, and it could just break. Something could give out, or you know, there could be hairline fracture and something. You don't know. So, but until we have other ones that we can test, we can't say for sure anything about this one. It could be just this one. So we will have to get a new one. It did stop us, however, from shooting the last 2 magazines, because without a charging handle, it's very hard to rack it back.
Okay.
To help forward assist that in. And so it did happen on the third to last magazine is where it did happen on there. So.
Okay, so the test is kind of inconclusive, but
correct.
We did get through quite a bit of rounds. So any kind of recommendation that you would want to put on it right now, or would you want to get that charging handle fixed, return to the range, finish it out, and then give a final recommendation?
I think it would be getting the charging handle fixed. I mean, from what we've had, I would say that this started to get a little bit better. It started to work through, started going through. So I think that it would be that we give the final recommendation later on, like you were saying, and we bring it back, oil it, let it sit in some oil and stuff like that, so that way when we bring it back out, hopefully it can go through and have a decent lubrication on it when it goes through. Maybe that might help. We're also going to try to shave off some of the backing of here, because you can kind of see where it kept on hitting back there. So we'll kind of take a look at that and go through.
Okay, so anybody that owns one of these right now, or at least a variant of it, recommendation is put some heavy loads through it first, and then you can work your way down.
I'd probably say about 50 rounds.
Okay.
50 rounds of heavy load, because that's pretty much what we went through. We went through about 50 rounds, so I think that 50 rounds would be pretty good. All right, so another thing that I want to point out too is that everything on this Fear 125 is ambidextrous. Everything. Now, another issue that I came across was I got cut.
Got bit a little bit?
Yes, I got cut, actually from the firearm. So the safety, the ambidextrous safety, maybe we can get a close-up later on.
Yeah, we can, but go ahead and point it out.
The ambidextrous safety right here, so on the right side of the firearm, digs into your finger, right back by your palm. It just digs right into there. So as you're shooting, it's moving and it's just digging deeper and deeper in.
Okay. And do you think there's a solution to that?
Making that obsolete. I would say if you can, just get a washer or something that you can put in there that's the same thickness, and just eliminate it from that side.
Okay, very good. Well guys, I think that's going to conclude today's video. Overall, it's going to take some work to break these in, and we obviously have to do a little bit of a repair to the one that we have. Hopefully you don't have to the one that you own, and I would say we'll see you next time.